hope, light, and growth. And that seed can be nourished through the blessings of our lives, like the communities that raise us and join us in meaning making. So together we join today as a community for the darkest moment in the Jewish calendar, Tishah B'Av. And just as our ancestors sat together by the waters of Babylon and wept for Zion, today we remember Zion. We remember the trajectory that issued forth following the destruction of the temple and our exile, as well as the continuing reverberations of destruction that ensued. Persecution, pogrom, blood libel, ghetto, demonization, genocide. Together, the Jewish people have faced so many shades of hatred and bloodshed that the very name Jewish or Jews is used as synecdoche, one persecuted people that represent all persecuted people. Where the Jews of Asia commented a Tamil character in a film I recently watched about the Sri Lankan Civil War. What does it mean to be a symbol of persecution? And why do we take time to remember such a painful past? Is it the spiritual resilience that Jewish tradition has cultivated for which it has gained its notoriety? Is it for the moral lessons that Jewish people know and guard as their cherished responsibility? Is it to connect the dots and see the greater pattern of violence towards those who are the other, demonized and dehumanized again and again? All these things we guard today as we read from the book of Eicha, known as the book of Lamentations, but translated literally as the unanswerable question, why? Why does humankind continue the violence that has marked our species since the very beginning? Why must hatred proliferate from that very same species that can love, honor, and respect and pray towards the infinite? On Tisha B'Av, the questions are asked, but the answers remain hidden. And so Jewish tradition ritualizes this state of inexplicable and relentless pain. Traditionally, Jews observe mourning customs on Tisha B'Av, no shaving, sitting on floors, fasting, plain clothing. But today, we take a different approach. Our community turns towards the perennial source of healing that has carried the Jewish people across millennia, music, described by the Jewish musicologist Victor Zuckerkandl as a moving symbol that carries us closer to the infinite. Today, I'm privileged to lead with our student cantor, Justin Callis, who brings us voice, ukulele, piano, and original composition as expressions of his soul and invitations for our souls to sing through the pain and taste sweet catharsis. Through music, we join the Israelites at the shores of Babylon, and through song, we weep and we remember Zion, a sacred past and potential to build a world of peace and holiness and an enduring relationship with the divine. So we'll continue our service on the first page of our handout, By the Waters of Babylon.
By the waters of Babylon, where down and waters, the waters of Zion, we remember thee, Zion. We remember the waters of Babylon, where down and waters, and wept for thee, Zion. We remember thee, Zion. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem Yadadai, 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 Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. We return,
We return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to you. We return again to you.
Before we begin our chanting of the book of Eicha, I'd love to share a little bit about this masterful piece of sacred Jewish literature. I think I discovered the beauty of this text during my time at school, getting to study with Rabbi Dr. Rachel Adler and Dr. Tamara Eskenazi. They taught me that the book of Eicha is one of the most structured and complex books in our canon. And it rests on a central organizing principle. That's the special poetic meter for elegies called kina, or the limping meter. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And what's surprising about this particular meter is that you can find it in utterly non-Jewish contexts. So when I first heard this meter, I thought immediately of the second movement of Beethoven's Seventh Symphony. And it goes very famously, dun, 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 da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, da, 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 da. So what is this connection? Well, I discovered it in another place before I share. I was learning klezmer music in my second year at rabbinical school. And I was studying a technique called krechts, and that's a whale, Yiddish for whale. And as I was recording myself bowing the whale, I got to see on GarageBand a visual depiction of the sound wave. And that sound wave also created a 3-2 meter. It was shocking. And it was something that not only caught my breath, I actually showed it to Dr. Eskenazi, and she was shocked as well, which was my stamp of approval. So what is it about 3-2? Well, think about a sob and then 2 sharp gasps. It's a quick inhale after a sudden wail. And that's a very human expression, one that doesn't require any cultural context to rest. And so as we read the book of Eicha, we're not only reading words that describe the destruction of the temple and an incredible moment of humiliation and sadness of our people, but we're reenacting those cries of a broken human spirit. And if you go into the book, you can find the three-tune pattern everywhere. It's in every sentence. It's within every half part of the sentences. It's on a larger scale. It's everywhere. So what is it? Why are there so many layers of this structure? Well, I'll just share one final line, and this is to quote Dr. Adler, that imposing form and structure on lament constrains its wildness and socializes it so that lament can engage a community as witnesses and as participants. So today, as we gather in this small community, we are a community who witnesses and participates in the sorrows of our people. And as witnesses, we begin the process of healing. And we honor those who we have lost to the endless cycles of violence against our people. So we'll continue now with our chanting. There is a blessing. It's actually not halachically mandated. It's extra. We're not going to include it today, but it's something to study if you wish. First, for our chanting, I want to invite up Naomi. She'll be chanting chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. It's page 4 in your handout.
Yashva vadad hayir batiyam hayata kamana rabati vagoyim sarati bamdinot hayata lamas bachotiv kebalayla V'dimarta aleya en laminechem mikol ohaveha kol re'eha bahagduva hayula lehoivim galta Yehuda meoni umerov avoda hi yashva vagoyim lo matzah manoach Korot fe'hashigu ha'beit ha'matzrihim Darchei Tzion avelot Mibli b'hei moed Kol shehareha shomemin Kohaneha nenachim Betuloteha nugot V'himar laha.
I'll now invite Lenny Rothbart forward. He'll be chanting chapter 2, verses 18, all the way through chapter 3, verse 9.
Just do what you can do. Oh, no, I can do it either.
Do it. Great.
Yes?
Yeah, do
Oh,
it.
okay.
Just be careful.
So, anyone here from out of town?
Watch out for that red line. We like to be appropriate on Tishah B'Av.
Sorry.
No, I'm just using.
Sa'ak lebam el Adonai chomat batzion horidi chanach al dima yomam volayla al titni fugat lach al tidom badenech kumi vroni valayla Lavosh ashmuchorot sivchi chamayim libech nochal panei Adonai sri elav kapayich al nefesh olalayich hatifim barav barosh kol chutzot.
Francine Lahat will now chant chapter 3, verses 21 to chapter 4, verse 5. Watch out for the red. I see it. Okay, good. Can you hold this? Okay, good.
Zah
Hashiv el libi al kain ohil chaste Adonai ki lo tamnu ki lo chalu rachamav chadashim leb karim rabba emunatecha Chilki Adonai Amra Nafshi Al Kain Ohilo Tov Adonai Liko Vav La Nefesh Tidrosei.
And now I'd like to invite Naomi back. She's going to be chanting chapter 4, verses 6 through 10.
Vayigdal avon barami mechatat sidom hahafucha chimoraga v'lo chalu v'yadaim sakun izirega misheleg tachu mechalav Agmu etzem mipninim sapir gizratam Hashach mishchor taharam lo tikru bachutzot Tzafad oram alatzmam yavesh hayachait Tovim hayu chalalei cherev mechalalei rav Shahem yazuvu midukarim mitunuvot sadai Yadei nashim rachamaniot Bishlu yaldehem hayu livarod lamo Bishlu veher sorry parami.
Lenny? Lenny will be our last chanter. Chapter 5?
Chapter 5. Oh, okay.
Are you good to chant that? Great, thank you. He'll be concluding our chanting today, chapter 5, verses 18 to 22. Wonderful, thank you.
Chatzion sheshamim shualim hilchuvo Ata Adonai le'olam teshev Kisacha l'dor v'ador Lama lanetzach tishkachenu Hazvenu le'orech yamim Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh yameinu kekedem Ki Imios mastanu katsufata aleinu almud.
And now that we have chanted selections from the book of Eicha, I hope that you feel inspired to explore the book further, to take time and to learn it. Considering it is such a neglected book in Reform circles, I highly recommend if you ever want to sit and study, please let me know. Now that we've finished our chanting, we have an opportunity to focus for a moment on healing. And again, as I said earlier, when we join as community and we experience suffering together, within that pain, there is a seed of hope and healing. And so now I'd love to hear those in your lives who are in need of our prayers, and healing of mind, body, and spirit. I'd love to take names of anyone who's on your heart, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm thinking of Rena DeVeza and Any other names before we continue with the Misha Berach? Okay.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekol HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We'll take a moment now for silent reflection.
Shir Lamalot Sinai Le'arim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shemaim Va'aretz. I turn my eyes and look for help, though I have little worth. My help comes from Adonai, who's made all of the earth. Sinai Le'arim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim va'aretz. God will not let your foot give way, though sometimes you may weep and see Shomer Israel slumbers not nor sleeps. Hey, Sinai, Eleharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Hey, Ezri Me'im, Adonai, Oseh Shemayim Va'aretz. And God will be your guardian and shelter your land. May God be your protector who stands at your right hand. Yomam Hashemesh lo yakecha. Yomam Hashemesh lo yakeka v'yarech b'layla. Sinai Eleharim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shemayim va'aretz. Adonai Yishmorcha mikol ra, Yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzedecha, uvoecha me'ata ve'ad olam.
Thank you so much for coming and joining. I really want to thank our chanters in particular for bringing their light and their soul to our sacred text. I encourage you all to find another air-conditioned space in this ridiculously hot day. Mourn peacefully. Thank you. That piece was an original composition by student cantor Justin Callis. And this is the after-service remarks that if you know the words, Esai na el heharim, I look my eyes towards the mountains, the piece is actually climbing in keys and then descending. So the piece reflects its own words, which makes it a masterful piece. A masterpiece.